In Russia, Victor lives a happy and peaceful life with his wife and child. They enjoy every day together until tragedy strikes. Sometime later, Anton and Marina are getting ready for their wedding, which is paid for by Marina's father. They'll record their wedding and the honeymoon to make a short film they'll show at the yacht club. At the registry building, they take the elevator, which gets stuck without light for 1 second before moving on. Marina has a fear of getting stuck in elevators, but Anton assures her it's fine and distracts her by recording her chest. When the couple finally reaches the office, the officiant doesn't want to marry them because they're very late. Marina tells her about their deep love and asks her to assure her they'll be fine. Victor finds the alarm button and presses it several times while yelling, but nobody answers. Then Marina pulls out her phone, however there's no signal. Her panic gets worse as she asks the men to check their phones. Sadly, they don't have service either. Victor points at the camera and says they can only wait until they're rescued. Over an hour later, Anton decides to film again, which annoys Marina. He explains that a man on YouTube was stuck in an elevator for 40 hours and recorded everything to sue the company later as he rubs her belly. Victor explains the elevator can't freefall because there's a system of brakes for emergencies like this. Since he worked in construction all his life, he knows about elevators. He says that if an elevator falls, then the people inside must lie down on the floor to survive. The conversation triggers Marina's phobia, so she rushes to the door and starts pulling. The men help her, and after some effort they manage to open the door, only to find a wall and a light draft. The ceiling only has light and ventilation, not useful at all. Marina says they're stuck in a metal coffin and returns to the window to try to calm down. When she sees people in another building, she starts screaming, pounding on the window, and waving her headpiece to no avail. Then she starts crying and having a panic attack, so Anton comforts her until she calms down. Suddenly the elevator door closes and Marina screams. Anton yells and pounds on the door, but it's pointless. Victor points out that the occupancy in this expensive tower is low, so probably nobody noticed what's happening. Marina realizes that today is Friday and employees have left, which means they'll be stuck here the whole weekend. She cries desperately and Anton has to hug her. As night falls, it starts raining. Bars with his band. 6 months ago they started to work on an album, but there hasn't been much progress. Victor teases his lack of proper employment, however Marina swears she believes in Anton. An amused Victor thinks it's easy for her to say that because she has money. He points out that their relationship may end up in resentment and warns them not to have babies. Getting annoyed, Anton grabs Victor's hand and brings him down as he asks about his wife. Victor says that his wife isn't around anymore and that they'll visit him after they're rescued. Suddenly Victor's mood changes again and talks about seeking revenge against people who hurt him, describing dreams full of violence. When Anton asks for clarification, Victor pulls out a picture of his child and explains that he died 2 years ago in a car accident. While Anton comforts Victor through another breakdown, Marina desperately tries the buttons again. Victor thinks she's being disrespectful toward his grief, so Marina expresses sympathy, but her priority is to escape Anton, even his taste in dirty movies. Marina gives him the money envelope to try to convince him to let them go, but Victor says that not everything in life can be bought. After stopping the elevator, Victor pulls out a knife and says he wants Anton to suffer. He tries to reach Marina to hurt her, but Anton gets in the way, so Victor captures him instead and threatens him with the knife as he explains that Anton killed his son. When Anton says he never hurt anybody, Victor pushes him against the wall and calls him a liar. The couple begs for mercy and promises they'll help Victor find the real killer because it washes Anton's nose and throws him down to kick him on the floor. With a foot on Anton's head, Victor points out that 2 years ago at 1 a.m, Anton and Marina were often in the same bar. He asks Anton for his car's license plate, but Anton says he doesn't remember. Furious, Victor slashes the skin under his ear. Marina rushes to push Victor, who slaps her before repeatedly slamming her head on the wall. After dropping Marina on the floor, Victor explains that one night he went out and his son secretly in the front seat. He forces her to stand up and grabs her by the hair to take a closer look at her. A flashback reveals the car stopped after the accident and a person came out to look around before escaping. When Marina says that Victor's wife was probably afraid of the man he's become, Victor pushes her against the glass wall and punches Anton when he tries to intervene. Then he mentions the license plate of the car that killed his son, revealing it was registered in the name of Marina's father's former mistress. He also mentions a broken headlight. Victor has been looking for the couple for a long time again. The couple looks at the sun and celebrates, thinking it's finally over. However, the elevator then starts falling at a horrifying speed. Marina screams before Anton remembers the advice Victor gave them earlier, so they lie down on the floor. After several minutes of falling, the elevator finally stops and the couple survives, although Marina loses a tooth and freaks out. Anton calms her down before trying to open the door, but it won't even budge. When he screams at the security camera, the hacker leaves his chair to prepare some tools. Then Anton grabs some gum and a credit card from Marina at their wedding night. The sweet moment is interrupted when the door opens and a hose hits them with a strong stream of water. Marina takes the chance to drink, but ends up coughing and spitting it. As the elevator starts to flood, the hacker returns to the control room to watch the couple suffer. Anton and Marina work together to pull the door open, then Anton lifts Marina so she can try to push the hose. Unfortunately, the stream pushes back and the couple falls into the water. Anton decides to try with the panel again, but the water triggers a short circuit and the couple has to step away to avoid getting electrocuted. At least this triggers the fire alarm, which should directly contact the authorities. Anton and Marina start pounding on the glass wall, hoping someone outside will see them. As the water continues to rise, they stay submerged as long as possible. However, nobody outside reacts, so they have no choice but to resurface. The remaining breathable area is tiny, meaning they don't have much time left. A desperate Anton decides Marina has been lying all along and has gotten them into this mess. Marina apologizes and swears she was trying to protect him, admitting she's a spoiled child. Anton lets her hug him, willing to work on their relationship. When Marina even agrees to go to the police, they share a kiss. At that moment, a new guard arrives to take over the shift. The hacker immediately jumps on him and quickly knocks him out. Afterward to be Victor's wife, who says she'll never get her son back and runs away. Seconds later, Anton is awakened by the sound of police sirens. He unchains Marina and they cling to each other as the cops surround them. Afterward, Anton chooses to take the blame for the death of Victor's child. He's sentenced to 7 years in prison but receives parole after 5. When he finally comes out, Marina is waiting for him with her child, which explains why he took the fall.